guys, welcome back. If you're new here, hi, hello, welcome. My name is Savannah and welcome to my channel. If you guys follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, anything like that, you guys saw that I graduated on Saturday. I just wanted to share this video with you guys because my makeup, when I'm telling you guys I wore my makeup all day, I wore my makeup all day. I literally woke up at 5 a.m., threw on some makeup, and that makeup lasted me until about 3 a.m. the next morning. So it lasted me through almost 24 hours, which is crazy because I never thought that I would ever wear makeup for 24 hours. But it was just such a busy day. I graduated in the morning, obviously my ceremony, and then I had to get ready for my party, like my celebration party, my little barbecue that I had. I didn't have time to redo my makeup, to do anything, so I kind of just touched it up throughout the day, and this makeup lasted me all day. So I wanted to share it with you guys. It's really easy. It's like a brown smoky eye, a little bit of shimmer, no winged liner, no false lashes. I don't fuck with false lashes really anymore. Full coverage, mattifying yet still looking natural. And yeah, all the products I use are pretty much affordable. Mostly all of them are pretty affordable. So I'm just going to share with you guys what I did. So let's jump right in. The first thing that I did that morning was use these, the Skin Iceland Hydro Cooling Firming Eye Gels. My box is a little beat up, but this is a pack of 4 that I got from Ulta. As I said before, I woke up at 5 a.m. that morning to start getting ready for my ceremony, and I went to bed I think at like almost 1 in the morning that night, so I didn't have that much rest. And these hydro firming eye gels just really helped to make me look more awake. My eyes look not so tired and like restless, so these I definitely do recommend. I'm not going to use them now because what's the point, you know? And now we're going to do some primer. So I used kind of like a few primers that day. I wanted to make sure that this makeup lasted all day, through heat, through wind, through anything that was gonna happen that day. So I went ahead and used a total of 4 primers. The first primer I used is from Sommerville. This is the Wrinkle Warrior 2-in-1 Plumping Moisturizer plus Serum. I wanted to make sure that my skin was super moisturized, but also not like super matte either, you know what I mean? So I went ahead and put this all over my face. Now the next primer I'm going to go in with is the Glam Glow Starter Mega Illuminating Moisturizer. This is in the shade Nude Glow. And again, this is a moisturizer, not so much of a primer. Again, just wanted my skin to look really good, and the makeup had like something to like grab onto. So now I know this seems like a lot, but I swear it works out great at the end. Okay, so the third primer that I'm going to use is the NYX Pore Filler Primer. So I went ahead and just put that on to my cheek area right here where I have like the most problematic pores, just right here on my cheeks. And then whatever's left on my hands, I'm just gonna put it on my nose because I do have larger pores on my nose area. Now finally, for the last primer, I'm using the Full Spectrum Covergirl Matte Ambition Mattifying Skin Primer. Okay, so now finally we're gonna move on to the eyes. We're gonna start with the eyes. I'm gonna go ahead and prime them first. I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. You can use whatever concealer you want. This is just as a base for the eyeshadow. And then to set my concealer on my eyes, I'm just taking a little bit of translucent powder, the same translucent powder that I've been using for a couple years now. It's kind of just all my favorite translucent powders mixed together. And for my entire eye look, I am using the CoverGirl Full Spectrum eyeshadow palette. This one is in the shade Reverence. FS100 Reverence. It's just like a really neutral, warm palette. I wanted to go for like just a regular smoky eye because it was 5 a.m. okay? Your girl does not have any time to be doing any cut creases or like glitter or anything like that, so we're good, okay? Alright, so the first shade I'm going to pick up is going to be this light brown shade right here in the center. I'm just picking that up on a Morphe MB23 brush, just like a large fluffy brush. We're gonna go ahead and wash this all over the crease area, kind of just putting it down as sort of a transition color. Now I'm gonna go straight next to that light brown shade and pick up the next kind of darker brown shade. This one has more of a reddish undertone, so this one's gonna go just a little bit deeper in the crease. Picking this up on like a pointed crease brush. This one is also from Morphe, but it doesn't have like a number or anything on it, so I'm just gonna go ahead and dunk into that, and then again going deeper into the crease, kind of focusing the brush a little bit more straightforward, making sure that color is a little bit more precise in there. And I'm going to go ahead and take that previous brush, no extra product on it, no nothing, and we're just going to go ahead and mesh those two colors together, kind of just doing circular motions between the two shades, making sure everything's nice and seamless. Now I'm going to go ahead and take a smaller pointed crease brush, also from Morphe. We're going to dip into kind of like this chocolatey, not chocolatey, just like a darker shade of brown. Go ahead and pick that up, and this is going to be focused really kind of just out here. Not really bringing it too far into the crease, but just making sure that there's color there. So kind of just going halfway with it, bringing it all the way up to the crease, and then doing circular motions as you move closer to the to that lash line. And then going in with the previous brush that we used for like that reddish brown shade, we're just gonna go over that crease area just so it's not as harsh, and again meshing all those colors together. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put a shimmer shade, and it's gonna just mix both of the shimmer shades that are in this palette, so like this kind of light gold and dark deep golds together. We're gonna mix that onto a flat brush, a damp flat brush. So I just like to go ahead and spritz it with a little bit of water and then dip into both of those colors, and then just go ahead and apply that to the inner corner all the way up to the crease area, bringing it towards the center to meet with that dark chocolate color that we put down. So now I'm going back in with like the smaller pointed crease brush that we just finished using for like that darker brown out here in the corner. We're gonna go ahead and just, I start here in the corner and then I kind of just flick it inward. And that's pretty much it for the eye look that I did. Of course, you still have to do like the lower lash line and stuff. But that's kind of just like the look that I went for my graduation. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and move on to the face. I do have a little bit of redness going on a little everywhere just because I did some extractions before I started filming, which is very, very stupid. So for foundation, I'm mixing two together. These are my two absolutely ride or die foundations. The first one is the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation and Concealer. This one is in the shade Buttermilk 6.5. And then the second one is the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Makeup. This one is just like an OG. This one is in the shade W3 Nude Beige. Like every time I really want my makeup to last, I'm always fighting between these two guys. So I just put both of them together and it was a great match. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put one little dot of foundation on each cheek, and then do one. That's of the L'Oreal True Match foundation. And then with the Clinique one, I'm gonna go ahead and just do one swipe on each cheek and then like two. And then I like to use this doe foot to get in here, like by my nose, because I feel like that's like a hard area to reach with like a beauty blender. Weird, right? So now I'm gonna go ahead and buff that in first. This, I don't know, I think it's just like a powder brush from Real Techniques. I find that if you use very, very light pressure while you're using this brush, it works like really good. So I just like to blend out my foundation with this first. Always make sure to drag down the neck because you just want it all to blend really nice. And then I just like to go over top of that with like a damp beauty blender just to like get rid of any brush strokes that might be on the skin or any spots that I might have missed. Okay, so now for concealer, I'm using two today. I'm going to use the NYX HD Studio Photogenic Concealer. This one is in the shade CW03. And then I'm also using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in Light Medium Honey. These two concealers together are just absolutely amazing. I like the NYX concealer because it does have a little bit of a pink salmony undertone. Can you guys see that? It's just so it gets rid of any like blue discoloration that I might have underneath my eyes. I kind of just focus it like on the blue area. And then the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer is super full coverage. So I like to just dot it right underneath like this. And then I'm going to go ahead and take, this is a Morphe E20 brush. I'm going to go ahead and use this to buff it out first. So I like to start at the bottom and then work my way up, just so that pink like the salmon color concealer kind of just stays where like the blue undertones are. And then once again going over it with just a damp beauty blender, making sure all those creases are buffed out, there's no brush strokes, everything's just blending together. And then now is when I like to go back in with the concealer and just highlight with it. I find that when I do this after like I've buffed out my under eyes, it just blends out just a little bit better. So I went ahead and applied that to the chin, Cupid's bow, nose, and center of the forehead, just so we can highlight with these. And then again, buffing everything out with a damp beauty sponge. We're gonna go ahead and set the under eyes, so we're gonna go ahead and buff them out again one more time with this beauty sponge. And then after I set it, I like to kind of just stay looking forward, like looking upward, that way my under eyes don't have a chance to like crease again. And then I dunk into my translucent powder with my damp beauty sponge, and then I go ahead and set it. Now a lot of people ask like what I use for my translucent powder, and it's really just all my favorite translucent powders mixed together. So it's the Airspun Loose Face Powder in Natural, and then also Honey Beige. I have the Dermablend Translucent Loose Powder, I think in the shade Beige. I have my Laura Mercier Secret Brightening, and then I also have a Maybelline FitMe Loose Powder, also in the shade like beige or something like that. And then lastly, my Makeup Revolution Banana Powder. All those powders are just mixed all together into like this pan thing, and that's kind of just what I use to set my under eye. And I don't really like to bake, just because I feel like it's not necessary. I mean, you can bake if you want. Here, we'll do some baking. If I do bake, this is what I do. I kind of just do the tip of my beauty sponge, and I'll place it right where like my dark areas are under my eyes, like where I tend to get like blue, like grays and blues and purples and stuff underneath my eyes. That's like all I ever do if I bake. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take like this big fluffy powder brush from Real Techniques as well. We're gonna go ahead and set the rest of our face. You do want to set the rest of your face. I know a lot of people don't like to do this, but I feel like setting the rest of your face, since it is a cream foundation that we are using, you want to just make sure that it's locked and loaded and it's not going to move at all through anything. So by setting creams with powders, you're just guaranteeing that it's not going to move. So to set the foundation, I'm using two different powders. I'm using the Full Spectrum CoverGirl Matte Ambition All Day Powder Foundation. This one is in the shade FS105 Light Neutral. And then I'm also using my Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Foundation in the shade 222 True Beige. So I'm going to go ahead and just dunk in to both of them, and then I'm going to press it onto my skin. You don't really want to rub, like do these. I like to just push everything into the skin. Make sure it's gonna last all day. This is gonna not only set your makeup, but just give you like an extra layer of coverage too. And then of course, since you put foundation on your neck, you wanna make sure you set that too. Not only will it prevent creasing on your neck, but it's gonna just help with transfer. And then right now is where I like to set my nose, just because I tend to get a little bit oily on my nose throughout the day. So I'll just go ahead and dab like a little line down my nose like that. I'm gonna go turn on my AC. Hold on. So I'm gonna go ahead and start to contour, bronze, everything like that. So to start with contouring, I'm using the number 7 bronzer. This one is in the shade Caramel. This is the Morphe M530 brush. I'm gonna go ahead and give that a swirl in there. And then what I like to do with this is kind of just like very lightly just carve out those cheekbones. You don't want it too harsh, because again, this is graduation. You want it really nice and soft. So I like to just hold it like towards the end of the handle, and that just gives you less pressure and less control. And then I just lightly, barely even touch it on my skin and start to apply that color. And you can see that it's starting to create just a really soft contour. It's carving out those cheeks really nicely. And And then I'll start to bring it a little bit closer to the cheek area. Buff it backwards like this. So here you have like a nice little, just a slight contour, you know. It's not like crazy, but it's there, like it's there. Now I'm gonna go ahead and use the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This one is in the shade Bronzer, I guess. I'm picking this up on a Morphe M527 brush. And then again, holding the brush kind of like towards the end of the handle. That way it's not too like, you know, if you hold it like this, you're gonna just be more like precise with it. We don't really want to be too precise. We're just gonna kind of just feather it on these cheekbones. And then same thing to the forehead area. Just loosely and lightly, kind of just giving the forehead some color, some definition. And now for blush, I kind of just stuck to my basic blush that I always use. So it's the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Blush. And this one is in the shade Apricot Kiss. Mine's a little bit beat up, but it's whatever. And then I'm going to go ahead and go over top of that with the Milani Baked Blush in Luminoso. So I'm going to go ahead and take this little fluffy brush from Morphe. I'm going to dip into the L'Oreal True Match blush first. And we're just going to apply that very lightly to the apples of the cheek to give our cheeks some color. Now I'm dipping into the Milani Baked Blush Luminoso, and since it's a baked blush, it's just gonna give your cheeks like that glow. Do you see that? I have an itch. And then we're gonna go ahead and dust off this little bakage stuff that we got going on here. So I like to just take like a mini stippling brush. This one is from Crown Brushes. Just gonna go ahead and dust off the contour on the little powder on the nose, and then dust off this little powder down here. I like to sweep it upwards this way, and then whatever's left I just bring it down, going on top of that blush. It's gonna tone it down a little bit, so. And then going over everything with a large stippling brush, that way everything is just like meshed together. Okay, now for highlight, I did go a little bit overboard for highlights. Now I mixed a total of 3 highlighters together. Now for you, that might be a little bit too much. Go ahead and just pick your favorite highlighter. I don't think it really matters. But for me, I just wanted mine to really stand out and be like there. The first one is OFRA highlighter in Rodeo Drive. So pretty. I'm also mixing in some of the Dose of Colors Desi and Katy collection highlighter. This one is in the shade Fuego. And then this highlight, for being drugstore, is so blinding. This is the Model's Own highlighter, Sculpt and Glow highlighter powder. This one is in the shade Peach Pearl. It's kind of a little bit pinky purpley. I'm literally just gonna dunk my brush into all 3 of these. Right here on the cheeks, do you see how beautiful that glow is coming in? I'm gonna go ahead and take this to the temple area, and then right here above the brow a little bit. And then whatever's left on the brush, I kind of just take it on the tip of my nose, Cupid's bow right here, this chin area. And then once again, taking that large stippling brush and just kind of running it all over the face. Voila. So now we're gonna do the lash line, the lower lash line. I kind of go back and forth debating whether or not I should even show you guys the lower lash line. It's literally the exact same steps that I do on the top, like the top eyeshadow. Literally the exact same order, the exact same brushes pretty much for the most part. Like, it's really the same shit that I do. So now for lips, we're gonna go ahead and use 2 different lip colors. The first lipstick that I'm using is by Dose of Colors. This one is in the shade Mondaze. This is gonna go all over the lid. All over the lid, all over the lips. What? And then I'm gonna just hit the center with some Dose of Colors liquid lipstick in Lazy Daisy. It's just like a light pink shade, you know? I just like to put that in the center, and then I kind of just like, that's all I do. And then for mascara, I have like a few mascaras that are my favorite. This is the L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black Mascara. I will hit my top lashes first with this stuff because this is literally like one of the best drugstore mascaras that I've ever used. And then another mascara that I love is the Covergirl Exhibitionist mascara. Same thing here, gives me a lot of volume. You just do have to be careful with how much you apply. And then I'll usually, to make sure that they're like all separated and stuff, I'll go in with the Benefit their Real mascara. I just like the wand on this one. Like the brush is so nice for separating lashes. And then for lower lashes, I like to use the Benefit Roller Lash mascara. I feel like this really just curls my bottom lashes. I need a mirror. Like I really feel like it curls my bottom lashes really good, at the same time lengthening them too. So for setting sprays, I know this is like super important because setting sprays kind of are like the staple on like making your makeup last like all day. What I used on this exact makeup, this is the exact makeup that I wore for my graduation. This is exactly what I used. I used the OFRA Makeup Fixer Light Mist setting spray. And then I don't have any more, but I used the Mario Badescu Rose Water Spray right on top. So I hit it with the OFRA first, and then I kind of let it dry. And then I went in with the Mario Badescu Rose Water Spray. I feel like that, I've never used this to set my makeup before, but like it made everything just melt into my skin. It made everything look so seamless. So this is it, guys. This is the makeup that I wore for my graduation. Literally lasted all day, like I said, from 5 a.m. that morning till 3 a.m. the next morning, because I didn't have time to wash it off and redo it before we went out that night. I literally took a nap in this makeup, like a whole hour-and-a-half nap in my makeup, which is so bad. But you gotta do what you gotta do, okay? Took a nap in this makeup, woke up, touched it up with some blotting paper, some powders, and everything like that. And it was literally, it looked like I had just done my makeup. Like, I was still getting compliments on it when we went out. So, this makeup actually lasted me almost 24 hours. Let me get dressed up for you guys so you guys can see. So for my my actual graduation, I did straighten my hair just because I felt like it looked better than like, look how funny this looks with my perm. Like, I don't know, I just felt like it looked kind of weird with my permed hair, so I did straighten it, but you guys get the idea. You want to see what I worked my ass off for? This is it right here. Nothing. They send your diploma in 8 weeks, so I gotta wait for that shit. But alright guys, this is it. This is the finished makeup look. I got the whole shebang going on for you guys. Whole gown, whole cap, and everything. So this is how I made my makeups last all day, literally almost 24 hours for my graduation. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed creating it for you guys. As always, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, all that good stuff will be in the bottom bar, as well as all the products and everything that I used in this video. If you guys aren't subscribed to my channel yet, go ahead and click that subscribe button before you leave. Now that I am graduated and I do have a little bit more time on my hands, hopefully videos will be coming more regularly. I have to start putting myself on a schedule now that I have nothing to do and nothing to worry about. So, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye! Do you guys want to see what my cap says? I was this close to stripping. This close. Because college is expensive and I couldn't afford it.